Hey, so if you own a BJJ school and you're still doing everything yourself, you're not being a hard worker. You're being the bottleneck of your business, and that's why you're stuck, and that's why you can't grow. So, by the end of this video, I'm going to show you how to find the exact parts of your business that you need to stop doing. You need to get good at quitting these parts of your business. And when you figure those pieces out, you got to figure out who should be doing them instead of you and how to start running your academy like an owner instead of an exhausted, overworked instructor. So, look, most BJJ school owners think that they need to learn more. They need to learn Facebook ads, they need to learn video editing, websites, sales scripts, CRM and automations, more follow up tricks. But that is the trap, right? That's the question. I'm sorry, the question that grows your academy is not how do I do all of these things? The better question is always going to be who can help me get this done and who can get this done the fastest, but the most reliable. That one shift can really change everything about your business. When you think about a contractor that's building a house, that contractor doesn't build the house by himself. It would take years, right? What he does is he figures out who needs to be there, when they need to be there, what they need to get done. And so he can keep the job on track and actually get the best results. You don't want someone that's a good framer, a good electrician, right? What you want is a great framer, a great electrician, and typically these are going to be different people. So this guy has a list, right? The contractor has a list of all these people, and he takes that list and actually engages with those people to get them on the job, to get the job done correctly, get the job done on time. So again, the contractor's job is not to be better than all of these individual trades. His job is really to know what needs to be done, when it needs to happen, and how to keep the project moving. That is what business is, right? And that is where most BJJ school owners really mess this up. You're probably trying to be the instructor, the salesperson, the front desk person, maybe the ad guy, the editing person, the website guy, the cleaner, all of these different things, the invoice guy, the bill payer, the bookkeeper, the accountant, and probably the manager too. And then what happens is you wonder why you're tired and that business is not growing. So what's happening is probably a lot of those leads that you're getting are falling through the cracks. The sales aren't getting done. The fulfillment and delivery of all this stuff is also not getting done. So you wonder why your team is kind of always waiting on you for everything. It's not because you're lazy, right? It's because you're still trying to solve all of these business problems from an instructor or coach's kind of mindset or level of thinking. So look, if you have more than 30 students, you have a lease, you have employees, you have bills, payroll, all of this and a bunch of pressure, you can't keep running your school like a one-man show, right? Now, let me be clear. Who, not how, does not mean that you just go out and throw money at people and hope that the people that you find and you throw some money at are going to be able to fix your business. That is not leadership. That is laziness with a credit card, right? So you still need to know the outcome that you're looking for. You still need to know your numbers that you're looking for, your KPIs or kind of the results that we're looking to get. You still need to hold the standard, right? You need to be able to coach these people and teach these people in your business the way that you want things done. But you do not need to personally become the expert at every single thing that is happening. Yes, you should know a little bit about it. You should be able to help your team with it if it comes down to that, but you shouldn't be the whole sole provider for each one of these areas of your business. Do you think I know how to run Facebook ads and set up CRMs and build websites and all that? I don't know any of that. I understand pieces of it and I can probably do some of it, but it probably would take me longer than what I want to spend my time doing. I don't need to know how to do most of those technical things myself. What I need to be able to do is find people who can do that for me. I know how to build teams, and building a team is much better and a much faster way to grow your business. I know how to say, here's the outcome that I'm looking for. Here's the deadline and the time that I need it done in. Here is what I'm going to measure as success for these tasks or items that need to get done. Now, who can help us get there? That's the question I need to figure out. And I need to look at which one of these areas I need to be focusing on my business. And so, who can help me get there is really the shift that I need to have as a business owner. I have to stop being the person who does everything myself. And I need to start becoming the person who builds the machine, right? Now, here's where you need to be honest with yourself. What are you still doing every day? Every week, every month? Are you doing the same things? Should someone else be taking some of those tasks or ideas off of your plate? Not help with it, but own it, right? Like give them the task, tell them the outcome that you're looking for, and let them own it. They come to you with the result. I got the result or I didn't get the result. And then we have to, again, dig a little deeper and figure out why. So a lot of school owners say, oh, I delegated that, but probably what they really did was they dumped it on somebody. They didn't give them a checklist or a guide or some kind of workbook to follow. They didn't really give them any training, no standards, no scorecard, anything, no clear definition of what the person was supposed to do or what success was for that item. The person messed it up. And then you say, see, like I have to do all this stuff myself. Nobody else can do it like me. No, that's not delegation. What that is poor leadership. So real delegation means that you define the outcome for the client or for the person, the employee. You give them the tools that they need to actually solve the problem or fix the issue. You train the person, you check the numbers, you inspect the work. And then what happens is you improve the system. You say, okay, those are great results. How do we get better results? Let's try this and give them the new task and the new idea. That is how you build a system. That is how you build a process. And that is how you build a team that helps you get the same results that you were getting while you were trying to do it yourself. So let me make this super simple. There are 5 areas where most BJJ school owners really need to find a who, not doing it themselves, right? Number 1 is really in that lead generation side. Yes, you need to understand lead generation. Yes, you need to be able to do it if you had to, but in general, it's an ongoing thing. If you need more students, if you need more revenue, if you need someone kind of in the business that's helping grow the business, you need someone helping you with ads. You need someone helping you with the offers, content, tracking the leads, all of these things. You do not need to become a full-time Facebook ad, expert, but you do need to know your numbers. You need to understand the KPIs. You need to understand the cost of acquisition. You need to understand lifetime value. All of these things, how many leads came in, how many people showed up, how many people bought. All of these things are numbers that you need to have, and probably your ad person can actually help you with those as well. But you don't want to be the one actually doing all of the work yourself. That is not your job as the owner. The number 2 thing that you probably need is some kind of lead nurture. And this could be a system, this could be a VA, this could be a staff member, but typically lead nurture is getting someone from that lead into the building. This is where most schools bleed money. Leads come in, nobody follows up with them fast enough, or they do follow up and then they, follow up for a day or two and then they kind of forget about it. And then the owners say, oh, ads don't work, right? No, ads worked. We got the lead. Now we have to take the next step. And what do we have to do to get the lead to show up? And that's going to be follow up. And you have to follow up and follow up and follow up. So you need a person or a system that's going to follow up with each one of these leads. Calls, texts, email reminders, no-show sequences, cancellation sequences, all of these things, old lead, dead lead campaigns, all of these kinds of things in order to get those leads that we have into the academy. Number 3 is really sales. Sales is probably one of those things that you want to do for as long as you can, because sales is going to be the lifeblood of your business. But as you start to grow, you're going to need to have other sales options for people in your thing. You can't always be there. So if you believe BJJ changes lives for people, which most of you do, that's why you train, that's why you have a school, then you should not be afraid to sell. You want to sell these memberships because you want to change people's lives for the better. Sales is not pressure. Sales is leadership. But if you are the only person who can sell in your business is very fragile. What happens if you get sick, an accident, something happens and you're not there to sell? You've got to be able to delegate this to someone in your business. You have to have some kind of trial process, pricing, offers. All of these things need to be very, very crystal clear for anyone coming in and anyone actually doing the processes. That way you have a system instead of you doing all of the stuff. Number 4 is really operations. And this can be everything from billing, cleaning, scheduling people, uniforms, missed payments, staff, all of these things, parent questions, emails, messaging, any of these things, onboarding for new members or new staff. These things feel small until they're broken, because what happens is there are little things that are kind of constantly coming up and constantly needing attention. And then it takes all of your attention from those bigger items of sales or leadership or leads or lead generation or lead nurture. So when they're broken, your whole academy really feels chaotic, because again, you're putting out fires, you're running all over the place. Number 5 is marketing and content. So you want to get more leads, but nobody wants to do it, right? So what do you need? You need to have some kind of person that can edit some videos, take some pictures, all of those things, so that you can use that content to grow your business. Maybe you record some raw footage and you give it to an AI system or a person and ask them to edit it into some kind of commercial or ad for you. Maybe you give somebody else just the idea and show them how to do it with access, and then they can make the post and things like that for you. But you can't disappear online, right? You have to be relevant. You have to be out there in the social media land. Or else, again, you're going to start running low on those leads. So what do we do? How do we fix this, right? This week, what you need to do is really write down everything that you do inside of the academy. Everything from teaching, cleaning, sales calls, follow-up, leadership stuff, staff stuff, payroll, parent conversations, billing. What else we have? Maybe staff questions, website edits, all of the things that you're doing. The best way to do this is every 30 minutes, look back and say, what did I do the last 30 minutes? Write it down. And then circle the things that only you as the owner can or should be doing. Can is a relative term, because maybe somebody else can do that, but if it is a big money mover or a big thing for the academy, maybe you need to do that until you get some of these lower hanging fruit off of your plate. This is not the things that you like doing, right? Not the things that you're comfortable doing, the things that only you should really be focusing on. Strategy, leadership, sales, team development, those things really need to come from the owner themselves. Any of these key relationships, financial decisions, vision for the school, all of that stuff is really the idea that needs to come from the owner first, and then trickle down to the staff and to the other clients. High level sales, if you're doing some kind of corporate sales or something like that, maybe you need to be in charge of those. Everything else that is not circled, that is a you thing as the owner, then everything else becomes a who list. Okay. And that who list is really the idea of, okay, who can I find to do these things? And when we say who, it could also be a system, right? It could be some kind of process that you figure out, but maybe somebody else is going to figure that out for you. But that who list shows you where your academy's stuck, right? Where are the bottlenecks? That list is going to really show you where you need people, systems, processes, checklists, training, maybe automations. And look, do not overcomplicate this. Literally circle the things that you can do or have to do, and then everything else needs to be delegated out. And we start to look. And so the other thing is, once we kind of figure out this who list, we're not going to go out and hire 5 people tomorrow, right? We're going to pick one thing that's going to be the biggest bottleneck that we can see right now. One of those items is going to be the bigger thing. So we're going to pick that one item. Maybe it's leads, maybe it's lead follow-up, maybe it's sales, cleaning, who knows what it is. But the idea is pick that one item that is a big bottleneck for your business. And that is the first thing that we're going to do. What are we going to do? We're going to start to define what the outcome of that thing is. We're going to make a checklist. We're going to find the who. We're going to train them. We're going to track those results. Then we're going to repeat it. We're going to go to the next who on that who list. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to define the outcome that we need to get. We're going to write the checklist or the process or the system. We're going to find the who. We're going to train them. And then we will move to the next. And this is how you build a real academy, not by doing everything yourself until you burn out, right? Not by pretending nobody else can help you with do these things, not by learning every skill that there is out there to be able to grow your business. You grow by becoming an owner that can build a team, that can build systems, that can build a business. You grow by creating systems that do not depend on you every day to do them. You do this by energy, right? You build these systems and you build these members by energy, going out, finding the things that you need and replacing yourself with them. Because if everything in your academy depends on you, you don't own a business. You own a job that has a lot of overhead and a lot of probably some kind of tied, income tied to you, meaning if you don't succeed, you have all this debt, you have all this personal guarantee, you have a lease, you have mats, you have all of this stuff that's kind of happening, and you just have a job that has a lot of overhead and guarantees that you're putting on it. And that has to change, right? If you want to help find the bottlenecks inside of your BJJ school and really start to build a real growth system, you can grab a call with me. We have our Pathfinder program. We'll jump on, we'll kind of map out an exact program for your exact situation. No matter if you have 50 students or 200 students, we have a system that we're going to go through with you in the Pathfinder program. It's custom made to you, your staff members, to the amount of students you have, to the amount of money that you have. It's very customized approach. You can also, down in the description, get our free 5-part growth strategy, where I'm going to break down the key pieces of every part of this 5-part growth system. There's basically 5 needs that every school has. We got to have leads. We got to have some kind of lead nurture. We need to have some kind of sales process, a delivery on the things that we promise, and then some kind of growth and scaling beyond that. So that down there is a free download you can get, and it's our 5 growth strategies. So look, you don't need to keep guessing. You need the right who inside of your business. You need the right systems inside of your business. And you need to stop carrying the whole academy weight on your back. Remember, you're closer than you think to the academy of your dreams. Go ahead and like and subscribe if you got anything out of this video.